Hey, what's up you guys? So today I'm going to review the Itak 2. I might be pronouncing that wrong. I have horrible pronunciation for anything that's not English. But the Itak 2 from Traditional Filipino Weapons. So it's a really pretty sword. Here's what it looks like while it's still in the sheath. So they've got this rattan wrapping, which is pretty sure it's purely decorative. The sheath's pretty nice. It's nice, lightweight. There's two things about the sheath that aren't as appealing to me, as I have another sword from them that I like a little bit better how they did the sheaths on that one. But the two things on this is, one, it's really easy for this latch to come out. So you see how I'm just flipping it over and it's just falling out? So that's one thing that I don't really like about it so much, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be really individualistic based off of each and every sword that you get from them, because like I said, my other one, no problem, don't have that at all. And another thing that I thought was really weird is that there's this lip right here. So you see how if I put the sword in and it goes on top of the lip, you can still see part of the blade compared to here. So I thought that was really weird. I'm not quite sure why they did that. It actually stops the latching mechanism from latching if it's like that when it's on the lip. So again, not the biggest fan of that as far as the lip goes. But when we pull the sword out, it's a really nice sword. I do have some marks on it. I was just cutting with it. This mat is actually my jiu-jitsu mat, so a piece from them. It's about 2 inches thick, and then wide, it's about 4 to 5 inches, somewhere in between that. And then I'm holding it up just with a foam roller. So if I don't cut hard and fast, it's just going to knock over. And these are actually pretty dense mats. Like I said, I use these for jiu-jitsu. So let's see how well I'll cut through it. I'm gonna start off first using the Itak 2, Traditional Filipino Weapons. All right, let's see how this goes. So, that was almost a good cut. You can see where I didn't quite have the correct angle and I curved it at the end, so it didn't go all the way through, but it almost did. Pretty heavy. The balance, that's about 6 inches from the hilt, right there. So it is pretty heavy. I personally can't do hacks very well. I feel like they're really slow on the pullback. I'm not able to hack very well. This would definitely be something that I would cut through with a lot more than I would try to stop and do any sort of a hacks. Thrusting, it would be really nice. It's got a nice sharp tip for any sort of a thrusting type motion. One thing I was a little sad about is it doesn't have a sharpened false edge. So I was hoping maybe about up to here would be sharpened, not all the way up to there. That's a little bit far if you're asking me, but I would like to have a sharpened false edge about that far onto the back side. Now if we go ahead and we look at the handle on this is actually very nice. They use nice hardwood. They say that there might be cracking, but due to the change in climate whenever they ship it, but I haven't noticed any sort of thing like that. The handle is great. There's no wobble in it at all. I've been playing around with the sword for a few months now, and still no wobble. It hasn't come loose at all. I don't feel like it will. The one thing about the handle that I personally don't like is, and this is obviously because it's not custom to me, my hand is smaller. So you see how a person with a bigger hand could go all the way down to the bottom. So when I'm swinging this around, especially when I'm doing any sort of a cut through motion, I want to be where my pinky is right on the lip, so I don't have to death grip it as much and I can follow through. So whenever I do stuff like this, I typically will hold it all the way at the end. But now if I wanted to do a thrust, I've got this space here, about a finger worth, so I would have to shift up in order to do a thrust to actually have, the power to go through it. So I typically will hold it right there unless I slip a little bit. So that's one thing. Again, this was not personally customized for me, so it's kind of expected that it's not going to be the exact space for me. So I would like to have one actually customized, where it would be all the way right there. I think that would be awesome. Again, for me personally, I think I would like to see this a little bit thinner in the blade, but again, I kind of have the preference towards the Talibong versus the Itak. The Itak is thicker, so I get that. I would like to see a little bit thinner, a little bit smaller on the handle for people like me who have small hands. Somebody that has a big hand, well, you might like it like this. I do enjoy this. There's a hole right here, I'm assuming, so you can stick a string through it or something to hold on to it. That way you don't lose it while you're swinging it around. One of the cool things about these that I like is that I actually like to train with it while it has the sheath on. Again, this sheath is a little bit loose, so I'm kind of afraid of it flying off sometimes, but I will put my thumb over the clip right here so that I can practice, and especially when you first get something in a more safe manner, I can practice techniques with the sheath on. Obviously don't hit anything. The sheath it's very lightweight. You would definitely break the sheath if you were to strike something with it. So don't hit anything with it, but it is a great training tool so that I don't worry about, oh, I just cut my arm off. Probably not gonna cut your arm off with something like that, but I do feel like if I was to swing this at somebody's arm, hacking all the way through, that I would be able to get somebody's arm off. Again, like I said, it's heavier than I thought it was gonna be, but I do like it. You're able to flow with it pretty well. Again, things that I really just can't do are hacks. And then, again, because the handle isn't the correct size for me, I do have to adjust whether I want to swing, cut through, versus if I was going to try to thrust through something. All in all, though, I say it's a really good sword. You can't, unless you get something customized, and everything's not going to be to your exact liking, but very minor things, very minor problems, but it's a really good sword for the price. I think the price point is like $260 something. I believe that's what it was when I got it. And really nice blade. I recommend it.